Tonight on Newsbeat, Louisiana becomes one of the few states with stricter abortion laws.
Also, student government tries to make classes easier for students with a new initiative.
All this and more. Newsbeat starts right now.
A bomb threat was phoned into the Ponchatoula Police Department at 5:30 this morning. Good evening and welcome to Newsbeat. I'm Laryssa Bonacquisti.
And I'm Matt Houston. Thanks for joining us. About 40 law enforcement officers went to Ponchatoula High School to investigate and found negative results. Officers brought bomb-detecting dogs and other devices to search for suspicious objects. After hours of searching, the school was declared secure but remained closed throughout the day.
A bill passed by the State House of Representatives will require students with a certain ACT scores to use TOPS at community college before a four-year university. This will apply for students with a score of 20 or 21. If this is approved, it would not go into effect until the 2019 school year. The bill still needs to pass the Senate and the governor before it goes into effect.
Another bill that passed through the House refers to women's rights, and Tiger TV reporter Hunter Lovell is in the studio to tell us more.
The new bill changes the length of time women would have to wait before getting an abortion. The revised law will require women to wait 72 hours after a doctor's visit before they can get the procedure. Previously, it was 24 hours. As president of Louisiana Students for Life, LSU junior Cisco Gonzales fully supports new state legislation that would make women wait 72 hours to get an abortion.
Well, the Students for Life group on campus can take a stand on this bill.
The Students for Life group on campus plays an active role by advocating for legislators to pass the bill.
What we have done is go to the committee rooms and testified in front of the committee why this bill is important.
Gonzales holds several pro-life talks throughout the year encouraging women to make a choice not to have an abortion. His group praises a form of peaceful protest in front of the Delta abortion facility every Tuesday and Thursday. Gonzales says the students' presence is significant for women.
They are in crisis at this point in stage, and it's never a good idea to make a decision in crisis. And that's exactly what this bill does.
Legislative Director for Louisiana Right to Life, Deanna Wallace, has spent the past few days at the Capitol testifying for the bill to be passed.
So this specific bill is geared towards protecting women in that it gives them the opportunity to consider their options.
Though Wallace understands that abortion is still legal in the U.S., she believes that making this bill into law would put Right to Life groups one step closer to their goal.
This is not a party line issue in Louisiana. This is a human rights issue, and both sides of the aisle come together on bills like this.
Despite the overwhelming support for the bill, some pro-choice groups don't think it will help women.
It requires them to take time off of work. It requires them to pay for 2 hotel rooms. The 24-hour period is already unnecessary, but 72 hours would be an unnecessary burden.
LSU Law Students for Reproductive Justice President Chelsea Mumfree says some women can't afford abortions. She said taking time off of work to travel is costly.
Extending a 72-hour waiting period is basically questioning a woman's judgment, which is not a job for the legislator to do.
If the bill gets made into law, Louisiana will be tied with 5 other states for the longest waiting period in the country. Back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Hunter. In other news, student government passed a new initiative to help students get a better feel for upcoming classes. Tiger TV reporter Allie Evans shows us how the initiative will work.
The Syllabus Database Initiative was brought to Student Senate about a year and a half ago and has now been implemented. Andrew Mullet, who headed this initiative, hopes it will especially be helpful when scheduling classes at the start of the semester.
So by having students have access to those syllabi beforehand, it would help them make more informed decisions, which would make it easier on the students. You know, they wouldn't have to worry about rescheduling that first week, maybe not getting in classes they need to get in or being able to get in those classes. But it would also make life easier on professors because they wouldn't have such a big turnover those first few weeks.
Students are excited about the syllabus database because they like that they will be able to see what a class entails before they sign up for it.
The syllabus database is a good thing because it gives the students just another resource for looking up how the class is going to be. Things like Note Swap and Rate by Professor are already good tools, but to add on to that, I don't think that could hurt.
People know their workload before they actually join the class, or they'll be able to actually decide if rate my professor say one thing and their syllabus say another, then they'll know exactly what they're getting themselves into before they actually get into it.
In addition to making scheduling easier on students and teachers, student government hopes that this will provide a way to showcase the depth and variety of courses that LSU offers. For Tiger TV, I'm Allie Evans.
A syllabus database could also curb cheating rates on campus, which administration doesn't take this occurrence lightly. Depending on the severity of the academic misconduct, administration can suspend a student for as short as 1 semester or as long as 2 or 3 years. It's a lengthy process that requires many steps, such as speaking with both the professor and the student in question, but no two infractions are ever the same.
So if you plagiarized a paper, I'm going to treat that very differently than if you paid someone through a paper mill to write a paper for you and you signed your name to it. While I might charge you both with plagiarism, they're different levels of a violation.
Boston Globe studies show that about 75% of college students admit to cheating. That number has remained about the same since their first cheating survey was taken in 1963.
Coming up after the break, we'll take a look into how athletes balance a healthy lifestyle while also juggling school and practice.
Don't go away. Newsbeat will be right back.
Daily classes and maintaining a certain GPA, it takes a lot to be a student athlete, and keeping up with nutrition sometimes falls by the wayside. But for one student, it's a top priority for success. Here's Allison Herrera with the story on what you can find on athletes' plates.
Marcus Tyner is a full-time student and NCAA athlete at LSU, and sometimes he faces challenges on and off the track. Just as athletes are required to attend lifts, practice, or a team meeting, their nutrition is just as important. Sports nutrition is one of many resources offered to student athletes.
You can have all the mental toughness, but if you're not eating right, it doesn't work.
Lauren Reagan is LSU sports dietitian and says collegiate athletes are highly encouraged to come into her office. Many athletes, such as Marcus, grab the opportunity to learn about nutrition and gulp as much information as they can on a daily basis.
You're not going to find many athletes that go, nope, I don't want to do that.
The program makes choosing a healthy lifestyle easy for athletes by providing endless options. Reagan sets up healthy snack bars throughout campus and even organizes team meals.
I'm a real big proponent of healthy nutrition. Equates to better training, and it also equates to better results on the track.
It's never a one-size-fits-all for athletes. There's a lot of little ins and outs to each team's nutrition and how we educate based on their sport, and then within the sport there's even different positions as well.
Reagan says a quarterback will never consume the same amount as a linebacker. This program is only about 10 years young, but is successful for athletes like Tyner, who are always limited on time.
We're fortunate enough to work in an environment where we can be around all the lifts, all of the practices. They don't even realize they're going to walk in and get a little tidbit of nutrition.
From teaching athletes how to grocery shop to conducting team meetings, this education goes further than producing numbers on a scoreboard.
It's important to eat right because it becomes more than the sport. It's more like a lifestyle.
It's just a lifestyle they're going to use now.
A lifestyle students will use for the rest of their lives.
Student athletes have a variety of sources on campus to meet their nutrition needs, from dining halls to Cox, even Tiger Stadium.
Coming up after the break, an interesting piece from J.K. Rowling's writing days just sold for a huge amount. Stay tuned. There's a new Wizarding World of Harry Potter at Universal Studios in Hollywood. The park had an exclusive preview for some invited guests earlier in the week and opened to the public today. The park is very similar to the one located in Orlando and includes the same themed restaurants, shops, and rides.
Also in Harry Potter news, the chair that J.K. Rowling set in to write the first 2 books sold at an auction for $394,000. Rowling received 4 mismatched dining room chairs in 1995, and she chose the most comfortable one while writing Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone and Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets on her typewriter. And you know, I have never seen a Harry Potter movie.
How have you lived?
You know, I really don't know, but it's been a pitiful life.
Well, I grew up reading all the books and watching all the movies, and I even went to Harry Potter World in Orlando. It was amazing.
Well, your life has been a lot more fun than mine.
Obviously.
That's all the time we have for today. Don't forget to follow us on social media at LSU Tiger TV and see all our content on lsunow.com.
Also, stay tuned for #OriginalCopy coming up at 5:45. Have a great night, Tigers.